Hey guys, Mike at Carolina Aquatics here. We got a really exciting new arrival last night that I'm excited to share with you guys. This is something I've only ever heard of, never actually seen in person, and it's something that very few people, I think, even in the hobby, know exists. Marine fish, you probably know pistol shrimp and the gobies that are associated with them. Pistol or snapping shrimp, as they're called in the marine trade, they're found throughout reef areas all over the world. They're an interesting little shrimp or prawn-looking thing. They have one enlarged claw that's specially adapted to it makes a really fast closure or snap, and it makes this popping sound by compressing air, so you actually can hear these things. They give off a warning signal when you get too close or to scare off a predator. They're really loud. I kept a pair of pistol shrimp and a goby in a saltwater tank years ago as a kid, and all night I hear pop 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 pop. Very few people know that there is a true freshwater species of pistol shrimp, and I'm really excited to show off that we got some of these in. These come from Southeast Asia. They're true freshwater in spring-fed waters and isolated from saltwater areas, so they adapted back over to freshwater. And they're not the most colorful, but they're big, really interesting looking, and something totally unique. So here's the freshwater pistol shrimp, Alpheus cyanotellus. You see him cruising around back there, that big claw, just really cool. I guess in the wild, not much is known about them. They're probably found in little burrows, just like their marine counterparts. It would be really interesting to find out if these guys associate with a freshwater or brackish water goby, because a lot of pistol shrimp species are found with gobies in marine and reef environments. In terms of compatibility, I would assume, like most pistol shrimp, they're not friendly towards each other, but they probably won't bother most fish that are of decent size or free swimming. Personally, I'm a bit of a fish geek at heart. You may know this, but I really like wild type fish. I'm not a huge fan of, some of the line bred stuff. I appreciate it, but it's not something that generally gets me to go, wow. This past week and a previous shipment, we got some fish that really had my jaw on the floor, and I had to kind of brag about that are really cool. Gouramis are awesome, interesting group of fish, but not generally something I really spend a lot of time thinking about. They're cool, but these guys are an absolutely stunning, one of the prettiest fish I've seen in here in a long time, and something that really blew me away. These are a variant of the paradise gourami or paradise fish that are line bred. We're calling them the green dragon crown tail paradise fish. They're huge, beautiful, incredible color, really remarkable finish. These guys just, every time I walk by this tank, it stops me in my tracks. You've got to appreciate a fish like this. The paradise fish or paradise gourami is interesting too, because that fish has been around in the aquarium hobby for well over a century. Before the development of the longfin standard betta that we know now, these guys were being kept in small tanks by hobbyists in the turn of the century, 1800s, early 1900s. They're really rugged, durable. They can tolerate a wide variety of temperatures. They're a little bit aggressive, but very tough fish overall. So they're not anything I expected to see new with. But these guys are a relatively recent strain that just have come in from a select few breeders, and they are just magnificent fish. Gorgeous, robust, incredible color, really showy. So we're excited to offer these again. The last batch we got in, we just got a few pieces and they sold so quickly. So this is all we can get. The second rounds, I'm sure these will go quick, but anytime that these are available from those specific breeders who specialize in these strains, we will bring these in, because that's just an incredible looking fish. I love dwarf cichlids. I didn't used to. They really come around to me, and this is probably my favorite dwarf cichlid of them all, the checkerboard cichlid. These guys are nothing new. They're not something that's super rare or hard to find. They're just one of the coolest dwarf cichlids out there, and we got a nice batch of adults in, which we don't usually see. A lot of times they come in tiny and don't look like all that much, or really fragile when they're little. We got some really pretty adults from Colombia, and they're just, you can see why people fall in love with this fish. They're inquisitive. They've got color. They got that beautiful iridescent stripe. Males get two very long filament fins on the tail, so they're really showy as adults. They're just a very interesting fish that, just these guys came in from the wild 2 days ago, and they're already responding right away. So they're a great fish for anybody looking for something that doesn't get huge but has the cichlid attitude, inquisitiveness, they'll do fine in like a 20-gallon tank, and you can do a group of them as long as you get a male or two males and a larger group of females. These guys come from very acidic blackwater areas, the Rio Negro, the Orinoco, and everything in between. And they typically live in leaf litter. So if you've got dried leaves, catappa leaves, Indian almond, or smaller stuff like live oak leaves, just you can fill the bottom of the tank with them, and they'll use them as cover, as structure. They'll move them around with their mouths. They'll pick up leaves and make little piles. So it's really fun and engaging species that, with a little bit of extra care, just makes for a great centerpiece for a small aquarium.